Hey everybody, Ace Channel here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of Form Fight. Form Fight is a series where we take a look at a Pokemon with more than one form or a branched evolution or some counterpart Pokemon. We have a look at the differences between the Pokemon in question and we try and work out which one is the best. And so we can see these Pokemon in action on the battlefield. We also have a Metronome battle between them just for a little bit of fun. If you're a fan of Form Fight already and you're ready for more, make sure you hit the like button. Let's go for 1,000 likes on this Form Fight. A lot of you have been asking for it. Hit subscribe if you're new, by the way, so that you never miss an episode. And don't forget to use code ACE and save yourself some money on G Fuel. Today's is Black on Blackberry, and with all that out the way, let's have a look at today's challenges. Today on Form Fight, we're going to be comparing the evolutions of the 3 forms of Meowth. Those evolutions being Persian, Alolan Persian, and Perrserker. Now, a Meowth caught anywhere other than Alola or Galar will be in its regular Kantonian form, and will evolve into Kantonian Persian at level 28. A Meowth caught in the Alola region will be in its Alolan form, and when leveled up with High Friendship will evolve into Alolan Persian. And finally, a Meowth caught in the Galar region will be in its Galarian form, and once it hits level 28 will evolve into Perrserker. What makes these 3 Pokemon so different? Let's take a look. According to the Pokedex, Kantonian Persian is 1 meter tall and weighs 32 kilograms. Its Pokedex information says getting this prideful Pokemon to warm up to you takes a lot of effort, and it will claw at you the moment it gets annoyed. Its elegant and refined behavior clashes with that of the barbaric Perrserker. The relationship between the two is one of mutual disdain. Alolan Persian stands at 1.1 meter tall and weighs 33 kilograms. Its Pokedex information says the round face of Alolan Persian is considered to be a symbol of prosperity in the Alola region, so these Pokemon are very well cared for. This Pokemon is one tough opponent. Not only does it have formidable physical abilities, but it's also not above fighting dirty. As for Perrserker, it's 0.8 meters tall and weighs 28 kilograms. Its Pokedex information says what appears to be an iron helmet is actually hardened hair. This Pokemon lives for the thrill of battle. After many battles, it evolved dangerous claws that come together to form daggers when extended. Appearance-wise, Kantonian Persian looks like a large slender cat with cream-colored fur and a red jewel in the middle of its forehead with a curled tail. Alolan Persian looks very similar except with grey fur and a blue jewel, and a much rounder face. Perrserker, on the other hand, is a bipedal cat more similar in shape to Meowth, with black fur around its wrists and ankles, a bushy brown tail and a grey beard. The top of its head is black and has horns that make it shaped more like a Viking helmet with a silver charm that's similar to Meowth's at the centre of it. It also has orange eyes. In their shiny forms, Kantonian Persian gets very slightly yellower and Alolan Persian turns to a more blue colour. With Perrserker, its eyes turn white, the grey of its beard, horns and charm turn to a light brown colour, and its main fur colour turns yellow. Now let's have a look at their typing, weaknesses and resistances. Kantonian Persian is a pure normal type Pokemon, making it weak to only fighting type moves. It has no resistances but is completely immune to ghost type attacks. Alolan Persian is a pure dark type Pokemon that makes it weak to fighting, bug and fairy type moves. It resists ghost and dark type moves and is completely immune to psychic type attacks. And finally, Perrserker is a pure steel type Pokemon. This makes it weak to fighting, ground and fire type moves. It resists normal, flying, rock, bug, steel, grass, psychic, ice, dragon, and fairy type attacks, and is completely immune to poison type attacks. Now let's have a look at the stats and abilities of these Pokemon. Kantonian Persian is a fast Pokemon with average attack and fairly lackluster defenses and HP, making it somewhat fragile. Its primary ability is Limber, which prevents it from being paralyzed. Now when speed is your only worthwhile stat, this ability is pretty handy for protecting that one saving grace. Its secondary ability is Technician, which increases the power of Persian's moves that have base power of 60 or less by 50%. This is handy for giving Persian more kick behind moves like Fake Out and Aerial Ace. Its hidden ability is Unnerve, which makes the opponent too nervous to eat held berries. This of course is handy for scuppering an opponent's strategy, making it easier to take out belly drum users who really rely on their berries to restore their sacrificed HP, for example. Alolan Persian has the same speed and defenses as its Kanto counterpart, but has its attack reduced in favour of higher special attack. Granted, its special attack is still pretty average. Its primary ability is Fur Coat, which doubles Alolan Persian's defense stat, giving it a 120 base defense. This of course gives this Pokemon a lot more physical staying power, which can be a massive difference maker in the right situations. Its secondary ability is Technician, which we talked about before. One thing to note with this ability is it does make this Pokemon one hell of a Snarl user. Alolan Persian's hidden ability is Rattled, which increases Alolan Persian's speed by 1 stage if it's hit by a Bug, Dark or Ghost type move, which, given that 2 of these types of moves are not very effective against Alolan Persian, it gives it a fairly decent chance of of getting this ability activated and surviving to be able to take advantage of it. As of Generation 8, this ability also activates when the opponent's Intimidate ability activates, which, given that Alolan Persian is a special attacker and doesn't need its physical attack, is an amazing opportunity for a free speed boost. As for Perrserker, it's a lot slower than its quadrupedal brethren, but much bulkier, with increased HP, brilliant physical defense, and excellent physical attack, giving it more firepower and survivability, but be aware it's going to be hit first on most occasions. Its primary ability is Battle Armor, which protects this Pokemon from critical hits. Given how many resistances this Pokemon has, critical hits can often be an opponent's only chance to damage this Pokemon effectively outside of its direct weaknesses, so removing that chance can make this Pokemon very hard to take down. Its secondary ability is Tough Claws, which boosts the power of Perrserker's contact moves by 30%, giving this Pokemon even more attack power, which is nothing to scoff at. Its hidden ability is Steely Spirit, which increases the power of Steel-type moves used by Perrserker or its allies by 50%. Now, getting extra Steel-type firepower from Perrserker and its teammates can be excellent, and 50% is a great boost, although do be aware it's fairly restrictive given that it only affects a single type of move. Now it's time for me to decide which of these Pokemon I prefer, and I'm going Perrserker. From a visual standpoint, I find Perrserker a much more interesting Pokemon than the two just basic cat-looking Pokemon. I think Perrserker's really cool. I like the Viking lore behind it because, of course, the UK was very much inhabited by a lot of Vikings in the early 9th century, so it's got loads of United Kingdom lore built into it, and I really like that. Plus, I do love its abilities like Tough Claw and Steely Spirit, and I like its distribution of stats a little bit better. I've not been able to use Perrserker that effectively yet, but I see myself more likely to use it than I would a Persian or an Alolan Persian, that's for sure. But of course, it's not just up to me, it's up to you guys to decide which is your favorite of the three. But before you do, let's see these Pokemon doing ridiculous things on the battlefield. It's time for the Metronome battle. Now, you're in luck this week because, of course, we all want to see these Pokemon all in action against each other, and I thought the best way, let's just have 3 Metronome battles. So you're going to have Persian versus Persian, you're going to have Alolan Persian versus Perrserker, and then we're going to finish it with Kantonian Persian versus Perrserker. Have fun with that. Before we do get into these battles, though, I will point out these Pokemon all have max IVs in all stats, 0 EVs in all stats, they're not holding any items, and they've got neutral natures. They've all got their hidden abilities, so Perrserker has Steely Spirit, Alolan Persian has Rattle, and Kantonian Persian has Unnerve. The only advantages or disadvantages these Pokemon get will come from their base stats and their typing. Everything else is all up to the Metronome. Let's go. Here we go, it's the first of 3 Metronome battles you're getting on this lovely Tuesday night form fight. Ain't I just so good to you lovely people? If you haven't hit subscribe already, make sure you do. And if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you do that too. That really helps me out massively in the algorithm, more than you know. We got Persian and Alolan Persian, a battle that we have actually seen before in Form Fight, but Pokemon love to update things, so here we go. Alolan Persian is going to start things off for its team with Defend Order, increasing its defense and special defense by 1 stage apiece. Not a bad shout right there by the round-faced regular color scheme Persian in this battle. Over to the more sleek design of shiny Kantonian Persian. Gonna go for Shadow Claw. Not a good idea because that will activate the rattled ability of that Alolan Persian. Not very effective damage, but there's that speed increase because of rattled. So now regular Alolan Persian is the fastest thing on the field. Over to shiny Alolan Persian. What's that gonna do in retaliation? Gonna go for self-destruct. So that slight speed advantage given by that rattled boost is completely negated now because you're 1 mon down. Down goes shiny Alola with that self-destruct, and it didn't do as much damage to the its regular counterpart because of that defense boost, but still. Here's Electro Web from the Kantonian Meowth, the regular Kantonian Meowth. I can barely tell the difference between regular and shiny, to be honest. Dropping the speed back to normal on that Alolan Persian, so it's now not the fastest thing on the field. Very unfortunate for Alolan Persian there. Losing a teammate, it's at almost half its max HP. It needs to do something to claw back a victory, no pun intended. Astonish isn't going to affect the Kantonian team, so that's a complete wasted turn. Very bad plays here. Here's Dragon Breath from the regular Kanto, which can deal paralysis as well. Decent amount of damage as well onto that Alolan Persian. Critical hit. Now it's over to Shiny Kanto. What will it do here? What does it have in mind? Autotomize is going to increase its speed by 2 stages and become nimble, which means that that's now the fastest thing on the field. So Interesting plays there. The Kanto team smelling a victory, basically. They don't really have to do much work here to take down Alolan Persian. It's pretty much in the danger zone. Here's Shiny Kanto starting things off for its team. Going to go for Baby Doll Eyes and lower the attack of Alolan Persian. I mean, Alolan Persian's attack isn't really its forte, so you're not really doing too much there. Alolan Persian's special attack is where it really... well, I wouldn't say excels, but does a lot better. Avalanche, though, coming out from Alolan Persian isn't going to deal much damage at all, but does bring Shiny Kanto down to less than half its max HP. Over to regular Kanto. What's it got in mind? It's going to go for Explosion! Oh my god! Is that going to not... That's going to take down Alolan Persian for sure, and itself, but will it take down... It does take down Shiny Kanto as well! The slowest Pokemon, the last Pokemon left standing, will win this. So they've just given the victory to Alolan Persian, because Alolan Persian was the last Mon standing. Congratulations, you've won by a fluke victory. Good job. And now the fluky Alolan Persian is going to take on the newest incarnation of Meowth's evolutionary line, which is Perrserker, the Steel-type Pokemon. Everybody enters the field. My word, I'm still reeling from that last battle. That was insane. I don't quite know what to make of that. So we've got Rattled versus Steely Spirit. So any Steel-type stab moves right now are going to be a lot stronger on these Perrserkers. Shiny Alola going with the smart play, dropping the defense of both of these Perrserker by one stage apiece. Lowering their defense is going to be very, very important because they have pretty much the same-ish special defense. I can't quite remember it, but the physical defense is Perrserker's bread and butter. Unfortunately for the Alolan Persian, that was a failed synthesis on the first turn. Here's a Gust, though, from Shiny Perrserker, doing a decent amount of chip damage there, and now it's over to the regular Perrserker. What's it going to do here? It's going to go for Excel Rock. So going to utilize that physical attack, which does a decent chunk of damage there. Remember, that was just an Accel Rock. It's not exactly high base power. So really, Alola's on the fence right now. It's got to start getting rid of Perrserker's defenses as soon as possible. Reflect type, no, that's a smart play by Shiny Alola. So now that Shiny Alolan Persian is now a Steel-type Pokemon. Keep that in mind going forward. The Blue Persian is now Steel-type. Here's Grass Knot, which won't be very effective from Alolan Persian. And Perrserker's not even that heavy. I think it's like, it's something ridiculous, like 28 kilograms. It's on the screen, Liam. It is 28 kilograms. It's lighter than the actual Alolan Persian. Sand Attack, though, coming out from Shiny Perrserker is going to lower the accuracy by one stage of the regular Alolan Persian there. And now it's over to regular Perrserker once again to finish off this turn, and it's going to go for Smog Attack. Is it going to land? It is going to land, so it's going to do a little tiny bit of damage there, but also poison the regular Alolan Persian, which is not good. Now that Alolan Persian's time on the field is limited, and with the amount of resistances Perrserker has, Alolan Persian really needs to pull out the big guns if it's going to take one of these down before that poison takes full effect. Here comes the regular Alola, though, who is suffering with the poison right now. Goes for Swagger. Avoided by Perrserker. That could have been very, very dangerous, or a blessing in disguise. Mega Kick, though, from the Shiny Alolan Persian is going to be not very effective, doing a decent chunk of damage, though, to be fair, for a not very effective hit on that regular Perrserker there. Shiny Perrserker goes for high jump kick. It's avoided massive crash damage. That is a brilliant opportunity for the Alolan team right there. Regular Perrserker is going to go for a power swap, though, onto the Shiny Alolan Persian there. My word, that crash damage could pivot this battle in the direction of the Alolan Persian team, as we see that poison damage on the regular Alolan Persian there. My word, that was a great... I'm still excited about that. That was incredible. High jump kick missing. Here we see the regular Alolan Persian going for Howl. Now there's a nice play. That's going to help the Persian team going forward. So we've increased our attack, and of course increased the attack of the ally Pokemon as well, which, you know, Alolan Persian isn't great for attack, but increasing it is going to help them no end. Let's see, here's a physical attack, extreme speed on that regular Perrserker there. Not very effective, but again, a decent chunk of damage because of that defense boost from earlier in the battle. And Perrserker will fire back with a guard swap. What are you doing? That's just very silly. Switched all changes. Oh, okay. Do you know what? You gave the defense drop to that Persian. I'll give you that. I'll give you that play. Here's a Confide, though, from Shiny Perrserker. onto the regular Alolan Ninetales there. That is going to drop the special attack, which is not good for an Alolan Persian. That's not good at all, getting that special attack drop. We see the poison taking further effect. What's going to happen? I think Perrserker really knows what it's doing here. It knows that it has a bit of an advantage with its typing. Here comes the regular Alolan Persian, though, with gravity. That could be very, very dangerous. Let's just be careful, lads. We've all had a drink. We've all had a good time. Let's calm it down. Let's have some G Fuel like friends. We see Plain Ice coming out, lowering the attack of the regular Perrserker there from the shiny Alolan Persian. Do bear in mind that is still a steel type Alolan Persian at this moment because of the reflect type from earlier. Here's the regular Perrserker, who is going to go for Charge Beam, an electric attack onto the regular Alolan Persian there. Not a great deal of damage because, you know, Perrserker's not got much special attack, but that did increase its special attack by 1 stage, which does not bode well for the Persian team going forward. Shiny Perrserker is going to go for Slash, looking for a chance of a critical hit, I suppose, on that, oh my god, on that reduced defense Persian. Critical hit, takes down regular Alolan Persian there, so we're not going to have to worry about no poison damage no more. And now everybody on the field is a Steel-type Pokemon. Just bear that in mind going forward, because you're going to see attacks hitting Alolan Persian that won't make too much sense, I guess. And here we see, oh, can't use High Jump Kick because of gravity, Alolan Persian, but luckily it didn't suffer any crash damage. Here comes Shiny Perrserker with Sandstorm, which is not going to affect anybody on the field, actually, I've just realized, because everyone's a Steel type. So there you go. That's one of those things. So you'll see Persian not taking any Sandstorm damage. You'll be like, why is that? Remember, it's changed itself to a Steel type. Regular Perrserker is going to go for Leaf Blade, which is going to be resisted by the now Steel type Alolan Persian there. So not very effective, but still did a decent chunk of damage. Shiny Alolan Persian's found itself in a difficult situation, much like its partner was in the last game that it decided to self-destruct out of. It's on its own. Poison Jab doesn't affect the Steel-type Perrserker. Of course, this Persian as well is protected against Poison-type attacks now because of the Steel typing. We see Foul Play coming out, which isn't going to do that much damage because it's using Persian's attack stat against itself. Still did huge damage, though, didn't it? Got the Rattled boost, increasing the speed, but that did a lot more damage than I thought it would on that Alolan Persian. My word, I thought it was supposed to use its own attack stat against it. Who knows? Here's Stealth Rock, though, from Shiny Perrserker. Dropping those Stealth Rocks around, bit of a wasted turn, kind of pointless, not really going to affect this Persian in the slightest. What will Persian do here? It's in a dangerous position, sitting in the danger zone. It's going for the Metronome. This could be make or break for this Persian. It's going to go for a Stealth Rock of its own. So it's going to throw the stones to the other side of the field. A wasted turn, though. It's now put itself in a very perilous position. As this battle continues on, we see Shiny Perrserker gearing up, getting ready, and it's going to go for Vital Throw, which will be super effective on the Steel-type Alolan Persian. Takes it down, and Perrserker has taken this battle. Well done to the Perrserker team right there. They were fluid, they used teamwork, they were dead good, and they just looked dead grisly as well. So, well done, Perrserker. And now for our our final fight of the evening, I should say. It's Persian versus Perrserker. Kantonian versus the good old brand new Perrserker. We see the Unnerve coming into play, which isn't going to have any effect on this battle because no one's holding berries, but you know, it's nice to pretend, isn't it? We see everyone getting ready to battle. What are they going to do? The Persian team is obviously going to be a lot stronger, so Persian is gearing up, getting ready, going for Assurance to start things off against the regular Perrserker there, doing a decent little bit of damage there. Nothing too crazy, though. And now we see the Shiny Persian going for a Wild Charge to start things off. They really mean business. So there's a decent, well, I say decent. There's barely any damage done to Perrserker, but it was a nice, it was a noble attempt. We see String Shot coming out from the regular Perrserker there, which is going to harshly lower the speed of both these Persian there. Will that give the speed advantage to Perrserker? I'm not sure that it will, but it will certainly bring their speed closer to being more even. We see Shiny Perrserker going for Dragon Claw, meaning business from the get-go as well. Onto that shiny Kantonian Persian. Huge damage there. That's a testament to the low defenses of Persian and also the high attack of the Perrserker team. Shiny Perrserker does now have the speed advantage, or at least it might be a speed tie. Goes for Foul Play, which proved useful in the previous battle for a decent chunk of damage there to Kantonian Persian. The regular Kantonian Persian, I should say. And here is the regular Perrserker with recycle, but there's no berries here, so you can't recycle that today. Regular Persian is going to go for fly, hide up in the sky. It's not going to be very effective damage, but it keeps it out of trouble for the rest of the turn. And here comes shiny Kantonian Persian. What will it do here? It's going to go for fire punch, which will be super effective on Perrserker, on that regular Perrserker. A fair chunk of damage. You'd expect more from a fire punch, but remember, this is a Persian. It's not particularly good with its physical attack. I mean, to be fair, it's not particularly good with its special attack either. Here we see the powder snow coming out, avoided by the regular Persian. The shiny Persian's going to take that powder snow. Is it going to get frozen, though? That was a critical hit. No freeze this time. Now it's over to regular Perrserker. What does it have on its mind? Goes for heavy slam, but you're only 28 kilos, mate. You ain't going to do that much. Missed because that Persian was up in the sky, as you see. Little bit of chip damage there from that Kantonian Persian. Not doing a great deal, but it did damage nonetheless. Here's Soft Boiled, though. Great play by shiny Kantonian Persian. Soft Boiled going to increase its HP back up by 50% of its maximum HP, so almost back up to full. Great play there. What will happen next? I have absolutely no idea, but the Persian team have just put themselves in a much better position than they were in. Shiny Perrserker is getting itself ready, and it's decided to go for Attract. Is that going to work? Yes, it's going to be on the opposed gender, on the regular Kantonian Persian there. That's dangerous for the Persian team, because if that Persian refuses to attack because it's immobilized by love, that's very, very dangerous, and that'll happen 50% of the time. Multi-attack, Steel-type multi-attack, which is going to be powered up by Steely Spirit, I believe. Huge damage on that shiny Kantonian Persian. Brings it right back down to where its HP was before it used Soft Boiled. Almost, I think. Close enough. Here's Dragon Pulse. That the love was ignored. That is going to be not very effective. Dragon Pulse on that shiny Perrserker there, but it does a little bit of damage there, and any damage is better than no damage. It was even a critical hit as well. Now it's over to the shiny Kantonian Persian, and what's it going to do here? It's going to go for Ice Shard, which again, not very effective damage, but it's still damage nonetheless. They are chipping away at shiny Perrserker and at regular Perrserker, slowly but surely. They do have one of them in the yellow, you know, that is close to the danger zone, so they've got an opportunity, but this has been pretty much all Perrserker from the get-go so far. Regular Perrserker is going to go for Eruption. Oh my word. Eruption is going to do just a bit of damage there. It looked a lot worse than it was. Critical hit on the shiny Kantonian Persian. Of course, Perrserker not known for its special attacks, so didn't do a great deal there. Shiny, avoid the gunk shot from shiny Perrserker, avoided by the Kantonian Persian there. Goes for Twister, does the shiny Kantonian Persian. That is going to do a little bit of damage there to each of the Perrserker. Not a great deal, but it's still chipping away. The Kanto Perrserker is going to ignore the infatuation there, go for the Metronome once again, and that is going to allow it to use Stomp, which is normal type damage at least, so it's going to almost bring shiny Perrserker down to half its max HP, but not quite. This Persian team needs a ground type move or a fire type move or a fighting type move to really give them some leeway in this battle. Shiny Perrserker is going to go for Grass Pledge onto the regular Kantonian Persian there, bringing it down to less than half its max HP with that critical hit. Not looking good for the Persian team. Here is the regular Perrserker who's going to go for Payback, which is going to land on the shiny Kantonian Persian and take it out of contention. Down it goes. So we're down to one Persian, two Perrserker, and this Persian is in love with the shiny Perrserker. Ignores that love though. Really tough love here. Goes for the Metronome. It's going to go for Acid Spray, which doesn't affect shiny Perrserker. Very unfortunate there. That wasted turn could cost the Kantonian Persian right here, depending on what the Perrserker team decides to do on the next turn. Regular Perrserker is ready to go. It's going to go for Confuse Ray, which is even worse. Now, even if this Kantonian Persian isn't immobilized by love, it's now got a chance of hitting itself in confusion. It's in a horrible position right now. Shiny Perrserker is grinning its face off, getting ready, going to go for Double Team and increase its evasiveness. So now, even if you ignore the infatuation, even if you ignore the confusion, you now have less of a chance to hit the shiny Perrserker. This is dreadful. Of course, here's Kantonian Persian, who is in love with shiny Perrserker and is going to ignore it though. Ignores the confusion, goes for Metronome, and is going to go for Smart Strike, which is a steel type move. Guaranteed to hit though, so smart play there on that shiny Perrserker, bringing it down to less than half its max HP. But is it too little too late? This could go either way, but you still have the numbers advantage on the side of the Perrserker team. Here's the shiny Perrserker, who is ready to use Payback once again. That's what took out shiny Kantonian Persian. Massive damage there, not quite enough, bringing Persian into the danger zone. Is it going to live? We see Extra Sensory come out from regular Perrserker there. And that's all she wrote. No hit points left. Kantonian Persian goes down. Perrserker has won this Form Fight Metronome battle. Well done to the Perrserker team. What a great set of 3 battles. Hope you enjoyed them, you lot. So you've heard what I've got to say, you've seen these Pokemon on the battlefield, now it's time for you to make your decision. Which of these 3 evolved forms of Meowth do you prefer? Is it Persian, Alolan Persian, or Perrserker? Let me know in the comments and explain to everybody why your pick is the absolute best. And that'll do it for another episode of Form Fight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel like these lovely people down here do, please pledge to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrinilium. And of course, use code ACE to save yourself some money on G Fuel. But until next time, I'm Ace Trinilium. Keep on training.